Most men think "I miss you" means love. It doesn't. You've been here before, haven't you? She says the right words at the right moments. Sends those sweet texts that make your phone light up with possibility. Makes you feel wanted, desired, chosen. But underneath it all, something feels hollow, empty. Like you're grasping at smoke while convincing yourself you're holding fire. You've felt that gnawing uncertainty, the doubt that creeps in during quiet moments, the questions that whisper, is this real? Does she actually love me? Or is this just convenient for her right now? Here's the truth most men never learn, the wisdom that could have saved me years of confusion. Words are the cheapest currency in love. They cost nothing to produce, nothing to distribute, and they depreciate faster than any investment you'll ever make. Actions reveal everything. Actions are the gold standard of human intention. This video is not for men who want comfortable lies wrapped in pretty packaging. It's not for those who prefer wishful thinking over uncomfortable truth. This is for those who seek clarity, who are tired of being fooled by surface affection that evaporates the moment it's tested by real life. I'm going to show you 6 signs, 6 tests that separate real love from elaborate performance. These are the markers that distinguish genuine devotion from temporary attraction, authentic care from strategic manipulation. Once you see these, you will never mistake affection for love again. You'll have the lens to see clearly through the noise, the drama, the confusion that clouds most men's judgment. But understand this before we continue. What I'm about to share will shatter some illusions you might be comfortable living with. It will force you to look at your relationships with brutal honesty. Some of you will realize you've been accepting crumbs while convincing yourself you were eating a feast. Are you ready for that level of truth? Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. Sign 1. She cares without being asked. True love doesn't wait for requests. It moves with its own intelligence, its own rhythm. Most men think love is found in grand gestures, the expensive dinner with candles and wine, the surprise weekend getaway, the jewelry that sparkles with promise. But here's what I've learned. Love doesn't live in the spectacular moments that require planning and credit cards. Love lives in the unasked-for moments, the moments when no one is watching, when there's no audience to impress, when there's no immediate reward for the action. She brings you coffee in the morning without being asked, prepared exactly how you like it, even though you never wrote down the instructions. She notices when you're carrying tension in your shoulders and creates space for you to rest without making it about her need to fix you. She tends to your well-being like it's naturally connected to her own, not because she's keeping score or expecting reciprocation, but because your peace has become important to her peace. Watch the small things. Does she remember that you have that important meeting on Thursday and text you good luck without prompting? Does she notice when you're running low on something you use daily and pick it up without being asked? Does she create an environment that supports your goals and dreams, even when those goals have nothing to do with her directly? This is not compliance. This is not her trying to earn your approval or manipulate you into feeling obligated. This is care flowing from a deep well of genuine investment in your life and your happiness. When a woman truly loves you, your comfort becomes her concern, not because she has to make it her concern, but because she wants to. Your well-being starts to matter to her on a cellular level. She begins to see your success as connected to her own fulfillment, not because she's dependent, but because she's chosen to intertwine her life with yours in meaningful ways. But here's what separates this from mere infatuation or the honeymoon phase. This care continues even when it's inconvenient, even when she's tired, even when you're not at your most lovable, even when caring for you costs her something. Most relationships fail this test because care requires emotional labor, and emotional labor requires genuine investment. Temporary attraction can fake care for a while, but it can't sustain it when life gets complicated. But love is not only about care, it's also about something far more rare and far more telling. Sign 2. She defends your name in your absence. A woman's loyalty shows most clearly when you're not in the room to witness it. Anyone can be sweet to your face. Anyone can smile at you, laugh at your jokes, and make you feel appreciated when you're standing right there. But how does she speak about you when you're not there to hear it? When her friends are gossiping about your flaws, does she join the conversation or shut it down? When someone questions your character, your decisions, your worth, does she defend you or does she stay silent? This is where most relationships reveal their true nature, because defending someone requires courage. It requires her to choose you over the approval of others, to risk social friction for the sake of your reputation. It means she values your honor more than her comfort in the moment. I've seen men discover that the woman they thought loved them was actually participating in conversations that diminished them, laughing along when friends made jokes at their expense, agreeing when others criticized their ambitions or their character, staying silent when they should have spoken up. A woman who loves you will protect your reputation like it's her own, because in her mind, it has become her own. She won't let others diminish you in her presence, because allowing that feels like diminishing herself. Your name is safe in her mouth, and safe in spaces where she has influence. This doesn't mean she's blind to your flaws, or that she thinks you're perfect. It means she believes in your essential goodness, your potential, your worth as a human being. And she's willing to stand for that belief even when it's socially awkward or politically inconvenient. But here's the deeper layer. Notice how she talks about your dreams and ambitions when you're not around. Does she speak about your goals with respect and support, or does she undermine them with subtle dismissiveness? Does she build you up in the minds of others, or does she plant seeds of doubt about your capabilities? This is rare, brother. Most people will not stand for you when it costs them something. Most people will choose the easier path of going along with the crowd, of not making waves, of preserving their own social comfort. But love does something different. Love protects what it values, even when protection requires sacrifice. Yet even loyalty in your absence is not the complete picture. There's another test that reveals the depth of her commitment. Sign 3, she chooses emotional exclusivity before the label. True love limits its attention before it's asked to. It creates boundaries organically, naturally, without external pressure. Pay close attention to this one, because it's subtle and most men miss it completely. Before you're official, before you've had the talk, before there are any explicit agreements about exclusivity, notice where her emotional energy flows. Is she still seeking validation from other men? Still posting photos designed to attract attention from a broad audience? Still maintaining those ambiguous friendships with ex-boyfriends or male friends who clearly want more than friendship? Or has she quietly, without fanfare, withdrawn her emotional availability from the market? This is profound when you understand what it means. When a woman truly begins to love you, she doesn't need rules to guide her behavior toward other men. She doesn't need conversations about boundaries to stop entertaining other options. She doesn't need you to ask her to close those doors. She closes them herself because they no longer serve the vision she has for her life. Watch her social media, not obsessively, not like a detective, but with awareness. Has the attention-seeking behavior diminished? Has she stopped responding to comments from men who are obviously interested in her? Has she stopped posting content that invites romantic interest from others? Look at her friendships with other men. Has she created clearer boundaries with male friends who had romantic interest? Has she stopped having long, intimate conversations with ex-boyfriends? Has she eliminated the grey areas that keep other men hoping they might have a chance? This isn't about control or manipulation. This is about choice. She chooses to focus her heart's attention on you because you've become her priority, not because you've demanded it, but because love naturally moves toward exclusivity. Most women, who are just enjoying your company, who see you as an option among options, will keep their alternatives open. They'll maintain their full roster of attention sources because they haven't decided yet where they want to invest their emotional energy long term. But when love begins, something shifts. She starts naturally, unconsciously protecting the space between you two. She starts seeing other men's attention as irrelevant rather than flattering. She starts choosing you over and over again, in small ways, before she even realizes she's doing it. Love protects itself. It creates its own boundaries. It doesn't perform for an audience. It works in the quiet spaces of the heart to build something real and lasting. But love is not just about what she stops doing. It's also about how she shows up in your world. Sign 4, she integrates without losing herself. Love seeks alignment, not control. It builds bridges, not prisons. Watch carefully how she moves in your world. Does she try to change everything about your life to fit her preferences? Does she demand that you abandon your friends, your hobbies, your goals to accommodate her vision of what your life should look like? Or does she learn your rhythms, study your priorities, and find ways to complement what you're already building? A woman who loves you doesn't seek to remake you in her image. She seeks to understand you, your values, your mission, your vision for your life. Then she looks for ways to support that vision without losing her own sense of self in the process. This is one of the rarest qualities in modern relationships. Most people approach love as if it's about finding someone who will complete them, fill their empty spaces, become their missing half. But mature love is different. Mature love is about two complete people choosing to build something together that's greater than what either could build alone. She keeps her own interests, her own goals, her own friendships, her own identity. She doesn't disappear into your life like she never existed before you, but she finds ways to align her interests with yours, to support your mission while pursuing her own, to create synergy rather than competition. Maybe you're building a business and she finds ways to contribute her skills to help it grow. Maybe you're focused on your physical fitness and she starts training with you, not because she has no interests of her own, but because she sees how important it is to you and wants to share that part of your life. Maybe you have certain goals for your future, and she adjusts her own timeline and plans to make space for those goals to flourish. But here's the key. She does this without resentment, without keeping score, without making you feel guilty for having priorities that don't center around her. She does it because she's chosen to see your success as connected to her own happiness. This is harmony, not ownership, not possession, not control. Harmony. Integration without losing herself means she brings her whole self to the relationship, her talents, her perspectives, her dreams. But she's willing to coordinate those gifts with your vision for the future. She's willing to compromise and adjust without feeling like she's betraying herself. Most relationships fail because they're built on the fantasy that two people can merge completely without any individual sacrifice or adjustment. But real love requires both people to grow, to stretch, to become more than they were individually. But even integration and alignment aren't the deepest test of love. The deepest test comes when life strips away all pretense and reveals who someone really is. Sign 5, she stays when you are at your lowest. Love is proven in your darkest hour, when you have nothing left to offer but your broken humanity. This is where boys are separated from men, where performance is separated from genuine love, where you discover who was there for the person you are versus who was there for the benefits you provide. Life will humble you. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. You will face failure. You will doubt yourself. You will have moments when weakness shows through the cracks of your carefully constructed image. You will have seasons when you can't be strong, can't be the provider, can't be the rock that everyone depends on. When those moments come, and they will come, most people will distance themselves. They were attracted to your strength, your confidence, your success, your ability to make them feel secure. When that disappears, even temporarily, so do they. But a woman who truly loves you, she stays not out of pity, not out of obligation, not because she doesn't have other options. She stays because she sees your worth even when you can't see it yourself. She stays because her love was never conditional on your performance in the first place. She doesn't try to fix you during these times. She doesn't lecture you about pulling yourself together or getting back to being the man she fell in love with. She doesn't make your struggle about her needs or her insecurities. She simply remains present while you find your way back to yourself. This is sacred ground, to be seen in your vulnerability and still be loved, not tolerated, not pitied, but loved. This is what most men never experience. Most men are taught to hide their struggles, to handle everything alone, to never let anyone see them weak or uncertain or afraid. But real love creates space for your full humanity. It says, I love the strong version of you, and I love the struggling version of you, and I love all the versions in between. I didn't sign up for just your highlights. I signed up for your whole story. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. The best love is not to abandon someone when they need you most. The best love is to remain steady when everything else is shaking. I've watched men go through divorce, job loss, health crises, family tragedies, and depression. In those moments, you discover who really loves you. Most people will send a supportive text and then keep their distance until you're back to normal. But the rare woman who actually loves you will sit with you in the dark. She'll hold space for your pain without trying to rush you out of it. She won't lose respect for you because you're human. She won't question her choice to be with you because you're going through a difficult season. She won't start looking for an exit strategy because you're not currently able to provide the emotional or financial security she's accustomed to. And when all external measures are stripped away, when all the surface indicators of success and strength are gone, there's one final test that reveals the deepest truth about love. Sign 6, the anchor. When storms come, and they will come, she remains steady, unshaken, unmoved by the chaos around her. Life will test you in ways you cannot imagine. Loss will find you. Failure will visit you when you least expect it. Doubt will whisper in your ear with the voice of someone you trust. In these moments, when everything else is unstable, when you can't find solid ground anywhere else, you will discover who truly loves you. A woman who loves you becomes your anchor, not your savior, your anchor. She doesn't try to fix the storm or eliminate the challenges you're facing. She doesn't attempt to rescue you from the natural difficulties of being human. Instead, she holds steady while you weather whatever life has brought to your door. This is not dramatic. It's not passionate in the way movies portray love. It's something deeper, something more reliable. It's devotion. It's the quiet strength that says, whatever comes, we face it together. Whatever you're going through, you don't go through it alone. She becomes the constant in your life, the unwavering presence, the voice that reminds you who you are when the world tries to convince you otherwise. When you lose sight of your own worth, she reflects it back to you. When you forget your own strength, she reminds you of battles you've already won. But here's what makes this profound. She does this without losing herself in the process. She doesn't become codependent or enable your struggles. She doesn't sacrifice her own well-being to manage yours. She remains her own person while choosing to stand with you. An anchor doesn't eliminate the storm. It provides stability in the midst of it. It doesn't prevent the boat from rocking. It prevents the boat from drifting away from where it needs to be. This is what most men are actually searching for when they say they want love. Not someone who will complete them or fix them or become their missing piece. They want someone who will remain constant while they grow, while they face challenges, while they become the man they're meant to be. She doesn't need you to be perfect. She doesn't need you to have everything figured out before she can love you. She loves the man you are while you're becoming the man you're meant to be. She sees your potential and your worth even when you're in the process of discovering it yourself. The anchor doesn't move when the storm comes. It goes deeper. It holds more firmly. It provides the stability that allows growth and healing and transformation to happen safely. Type anchor in the comments if you have known such love, or if you hope to recognize it when it appears in your life. Conclusion: the wisdom to see clearly. You now have the lens that most men spend their entire lives searching for. You've seen the 6 signs that separate real love from performance, genuine devotion from temporary attraction, authentic care from strategic manipulation, care without being asked, the natural flow of attention toward your well-being, loyalty in your absence, the protection of your name and reputation when you're not there to defend yourself, emotional exclusivity by choice, the natural closing of doors to other options before you even ask, integration without loss of self, the harmony of 2 complete people building something together, presence in your darkness, the steady companionship through your most vulnerable moments, and the anchor, the unwavering stability that holds you steady through life's inevitable storms. Most men will never experience all 6 signs from the same woman. Many will mistake 1 or 2 for the complete picture and build their hopes on incomplete foundations. But you now have the wisdom to see clearly. You have the framework to evaluate what you're experiencing versus what you're hoping to experience. This knowledge comes with responsibility. You cannot use these signs as weapons to manipulate or control. You cannot demand that someone love you in these ways or try to force these behaviors through pressure or guilt. Love, by its very nature, must be freely given. These signs only have meaning when they arise naturally, organically from genuine feeling. But you can use this knowledge to recognize love when it appears. You can stop accepting substitutes and start understanding what you're actually looking for. You can stop being fooled by words without actions, by performance without substance, by temporary attraction masquerading as lasting devotion. Love is not in words, though words can express it. Love is in actions, in choices made consistently over time, in the quiet decisions that no one else witnesses. It is not in performance for an audience. It is in presence when there's no audience at all. It is not in what someone says when they want something from you. It is in what they do when they have nothing to gain and everything to lose. Don't debate what love should be in theory. Recognize it when it appears in practice. And remember this, before you can recognize real love from someone else, you must first love yourself enough to know that you deserve it. You must value yourself enough to refuse counterfeits. You must believe in your own worth enough to wait for the real thing, rather than settling for whatever shows up first. Your light is worth guarding. Your heart is worth protecting. Your future is worth building carefully. Let no one diminish what you bring to the world, and accept nothing less than someone who sees and honors that value. Subscribe for deeper insights into building unshakable inner strength and recognizing the patterns that shape your relationships.